What's up guys, Gage from ARG. We're going to be talking about a new Pendulum Archetype that's being released, Igknights. So rather than breaking down every single card in the archetype, which they're pretty much all the same, I'm going to just give you a generalization of what the archetype kind of does and whether or not it seems good. So the Igknights, for everything that is currently confirmed, aside from one monster, they are all normal Pendulum monsters, with the Pendulum effect of, if you control another Ignite card in your other Pendulum zone, you can destroy all cards in your Pendulum zones, both of the cards, and if you do, add one Fire Warrior type monster from your deck to your hand, or graveyard to your hand. And if you probably couldn't guess, all the Igknights are Fire Warriors, so you're able to minus yourself one to grab another Ignite from the deck and add it to the hand. That sounds kind of bad, and it is kind of bad, but we'll get to that. So far, I believe there is 6 Ignite normal Pendulum monsters released, and 1 effect boss monster, you could say. The level 7 boss monster with 26 attack has the effect of that you can destroy 3 Ignite cards you control to special summon him from your hand. And once per turn, you can target 1 spell or trap card your opponent controls and return it to the bottom of the deck. Now I'll talk both about the boss monster and I'll talk about all the Nillas together because it just makes sense to do that. All the vanilla Pendulum monsters, I already told you their effect, but they range from the levels of 3 to 6. And their Pendulum scales conveniently work from levels 2 to 7. Included in all those different levels, there are 2 level 3s, 2 level 4s, a level 5, and a level 6 Ignite monster. Observing them all together, they don't have very impressive stats back to back, but I guess they all are synergetic in the fact that the level 5 and the level 6 work with Summoner's Art, as well as the level 4 and below all work with Reinforcement of the Army, which is now at 3. So we have a Pendulum archetype that is really easy to tutor out and really easy to get flowing. But is it really that good? Now the Ignite monsters with their, you pop 2 to search 1, you essentially minus yourself 1 to search 1 from the deck. And the problem I see with this is, you leave yourself with no set scale afterward. I totally get it. The 2 scales that you pop go straight to the extra deck, and then when you get your scales set up again, you're able to special summon them. That's pretty cute. And obviously Pendulum summoning is a way to get that advantage back. You're able to recuperate that really easily. However, you have to have your scales still set up, meaning that including the one you searched off of using its effect, you have to have another Ignite card with a different scale in your hand. So pretty much the premise of the deck seems pretty simple. Cycle through your normal monsters to get them into the extra deck, then Pendulum summoning them out to bring out Exceed monsters of different levels. That's pretty much how I see it. And the big boss monster, talking about him really quickly, is not that great. The best way to summon him is to simply destroy 3 Ignites you special summon off of a Pendulum summoning. But then again, I'd rather Exceed with those monsters than bring out this thing. I get it, you can also pop Pendulum zones, but you will not get the plus off of doing it by cycling them out, like you would normally would. And its effect to return a spell or trap to the bottom of the deck still doesn't seem really that relevant. It just doesn't seem that great. We're not talking Phoenix Wing Wind Blast level where it sets your opponent back a turn, it goes to the bottom of the deck, so your opponent's still able to draw into something else. And it's only spells and traps. I understand that works against Clifford's pretty well, you know, sending Scout to the bottom of the deck. However, looking at a deck like Necroz, as well as Burning Abyss can chain the traps still as well, and Necroz just doesn't play traps. 2700 is a pretty relevant body, but other than that, its effect is really mediocre for the cost of summoning it. So that's pretty much the archetype as it stands. We have a boss monster that's really mediocre, but we have a whole engine that kind of meshes together relatively well. Now, addressing it really quickly, I don't think the Ignites are really that great at the moment. Again, there's more support to come out. I don't know what's coming exactly. I'm not a psychic. But looking at everything we have now, we have such a massive amount of cards already released for the archetype, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to be going anywhere. I get it, you have the ways to tutor out all your scales in the form of Reinforcement of the Army, as well as Summoner's Art. But the problem is, and I've stated this before, Pendulum summoning requires yourself to minus advantage for a chance to gain it back. Looking at cards like Ignites or even scales just in general, you have to activate the Pendulum zones twice, which minus 2s you, and unless you can get that advantage back with a card effect built into the card, Scout, which is the reason Cliffords are so good, you have to have the monster set up in the scales, you have to minus 2, and then you have to have monsters left over in your hand to be able to Pendulum summon, or monsters that somehow made it to your extra deck. With Ignites, putting them in the extra deck obviously doesn't seem that difficult, but still keeping them on the field in general is still kind of a challenge. Cards like Mystical Space Typhoon, while they are being dropped for Necroz, if another Pendulum deck were to show up, it's for sure a 3-of, as well as cards like Fairy Wind and Spell Shattering Arrow in the side deck. Cards that just absolutely demolish any Pendulum-based deck. The reason Cliffords kind of pass by this fact is that they're able to activate Scout's effect to immediately get back that advantage of activating a Pendulum Zone. So instead of the inherent -1 of just activating a Pendulum Zone, or the inherent -2, you're able to activate a Scout and get the plus back by just activating its effect to search a card, which makes it a 1-for-1. That, in my personal opinion, as well as all the cards in the archetype like Disc and everything and Stealth working together, makes Clifford a really good Pendulum deck. But for any other Pendulum deck that can't get back the initial advantage of activating the Pendulum Zones, they're going to have a very difficult time combating all the side deck cards and even main deck cards in the form of Mystical Space Typhoon in the current game. I love Pendulum Summoning as a mechanic, but there's so many flaws in it with all the cards we have in the game now, it's very difficult to make a very good Pendulum deck. Cliffworks did it very well. Igknights don't look like they're doing it as well. ARG stands for a realistic gobstopper. It also conveniently stands for Alter Reality Games. If you want to read articles from the toppest of top players, if you want to buy or sell product, if you want to attend high-level events like ARG Hartford this weekend, ARG.com. I'm alterrealitygames.com. Oops. Be sure to like our Facebook fan page and subscribe to our Twitch stream if you haven't already. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. Gage from ARG, signing out.